This is a quick overview of this knife, and this knife is not missing its blade. It is the Browning Even Money, and I'm not normally a fan of Browning knives. I think this knife has something dreadful like 440A steel. I don't know. It's some weird crappy steel, but it's got a little pry tip here, which is fine. It's got a pocket clip, which is also fine. I wish it didn't have that weird deer in the logo kind of thing, but whatever. It's got a drop point, there's also a tanto, and I think there's a dagger. But the really cool thing is that you are getting a production Barry Wood lock. And so Barry Wood was a knife maker that lived in the 60s and 70s, and he started making knives in the 80s, 70s and 80s, and these knives were really innovative in terms of how the lock worked. And so as you can see, the knife locks open and locks closed by rotating the handles of the knife. And so what happens is there's a pin that'll catch the blade, and as soon as it hits this point, so it's rotated 180 degrees, the pin is right there. The pin pushes the blade out. You can see there's a little detent there, and then it will hold the knife in an open position. And then this one has a lock here. The Barry Wood originals, which I've handled at knife shows, don't have a lock there. They just rely on the detent to do that. It's not the most compact design in the world, because you basically have to have the pivot. The blade can't be substantially close to the edge, otherwise there's nothing for the knife to have the detent, or in this case the lock, to lock into. So you're losing. You're going to always have some weird blade to handle ratios on a Barry Wood style lock, but it is fun to play with. And unlike many knives, it's locked in the open and closed position, and the knife blade is really buried in there. This is one of the very few. In fact, I think this might be the only production knife that's currently out there that runs the Barry Wood lock. And it's a fun locking mechanism. I mean, this knife is just endlessly fun to play with. Unfortunately, many of the knives that we fidget with today are one-handed knives, flippers, so you can flip them open and flip them closed. But if you're looking for a knife that's fun to play with, this knife isn't terribly expensive. It's got a really innovative lock. I don't know if I'd recommend this knife because it's not the greatest quality, and the materials aren't great, which is, it's a Browning knife. What are you going to do? But it's the only Barry Wood lock out there, so why don't you take a look at it. If you're interested in like gadgets and locking mechanisms, this is pretty cool. If you're interested in like a high quality knife, maybe not your thing. But that is an overview of the Barry Wood lock on the Browning Even Money, and I'm going to probably do a condensed review on this in the next knife that I'm going to do an overview.